Welcome to the show. My name is Luke, and I am welcoming back a regular guest on the show, the Blonde Demon, Sid Ross. Sid, welcome.
Hey, thanks for
Hey, thanks
having
for
me.
having me.
I love having you on the show. You are an incredible interview and an even better fighter. Unfortunately, last time we had you on the show, your title fight, which was going to be May 22nd for 247 Fighting Championships, got canceled sort of towards the end because of an injury to your opponent. But now you are rescheduled with a different person coming up August 7th. Let's wind it back. What was it like having that title fight that would have been your first title fight taken away a couple weeks out?
It happens. Like, people get injured. That's just part of, I was there when the COVID ended that fight, and then I've had other fights fall through. Like, I fought Tia Jablonski, but one of our fights fell through, and we didn't get to fight on the card because she had an injury. Like, I've lost fights before because of injuries. Like fights have fallen through and not come together because of that stuff before. It's just part of it.
Exactly. It is very much part of it. You actually mentioned the November fight. You had a really kind of special, I guess, experience in the sense that you were one of the fighters that got to fight in a completely empty arena, right around Thanksgiving. And obviously, you had an incredible liver kick, punches on the ground and pound finish. I mean, it was fantastic. But there were fighters that couldn't fight on that card because of the COVID situation and all of that. It definitely seems like you are dealing with that disappointment pretty well. So we'll get our attention on this fight. What's it like going into your first title fight here in a few weeks, August 7th at the Monroeville Convention Center?
It feels great, really looking forward to putting on my talents and showing what I've improved on since the last few fights. And, took almost another August, September, October, November, like another really long break. So I've just been working this whole time and just fixing the holes and stuff. When you don't have a fight coming up, you're not really in camp. You can just work on what you need to work on and not work on what you need to work on for that person. And got some traveling in. So I've been to a couple different places now, got to see different coaches and different styles and work with other people, especially some girls in the UFC. So I'm just ready to go, honestly. I'm just ready to do the damn thing.
Well, that's going to be a great slogan to your interview, ready to do the dang thing. But can you talk about your experience with UFC female fighters and who were they, if you can name names, and what was that like?
So the first one was I went out to Arizona for 2 weeks and I stayed with Tracy Cortez. She's a real awesome person, real chill. I like her a lot. She's a really good wrestler, so I got some really good grappling work out there at Fight Ready. And Santino DeFranco, Eddie Chaw, they were amazing coaches. They were very welcoming. And I got a lot of rounds and like sparring rounds and over 10, 15 rounds sparring Tracy, drilling with her every day, practicing with her. And I'm really grateful for that opportunity because, that's the peak highest level. And you know that if you can hang around there, then you're doing good things, you're on the right path. And then I actually visited XCM or NCMMA, Nicotone
Yeah, right.
MMA.
In New Jersey. Yeah.
Yes, in New Jersey, yeah. And I got to work with Sajara Eubanks at that gym. Same thing, really good wrestler, really good grappler. She's a phenomenal person. She took me and a couple other girls aside and worked on some takedowns with us. And she's just a really cool person to train with. And, she's super strong, almost the flyweight champion at one point. Had her medical condition not with her liver while she was cutting the weight. She very well could have been, a champion. So, and she's still active in the UFC. I want to say she's ranked 12th. So, she does fight at the end of this month though. So hopefully that gets her back up in the top 10 there and she can start doing things because she's a very talented grappler. And same deal, I was really grateful to be able to get to go with her and to get that one-on-one. She did almost a private with us for an hour. It was really cool.
Yeah, I mean that goes a long way to showing how good you are, that you have the best of the best females in the UFC, high level, top 10 fighters working with you and you sparring with them and all that. And it also shows the importance of the MMA community, particularly the sub MMA community of women's MMA, helping each other. How important do you think that is for you to remember once you're at a higher level, the value of continuing to train the next group?
Oh, definitely. So between when it started and even now, there's way more women getting interested and way more younger girls starting to participate, and definitely gonna pass it on, like the kindness that, Sajara and Tracy showed me. I definitely wanna, when I get to that level, do the same thing for other girls. You have people stay over and train with me, because honestly, it sucks training with dudes. They smell bad. They're no, but it is really a lot more enjoyable as a woman to be training with other women. So I definitely think it's important to grow as just a community. You don't want, um, I want the sport for women to keep growing, and then when I'm long retired and gone a couple of decades from them, the women will be competing at, it'll just keep getting better and better and better, and the athletes will get better and better, and some of the poor stereotypes and stigmas or mindsets people have when watching a women fight will suddenly start to hopefully go away. And nothing sucks more than you're sitting there watching the UFC card at a friend's house or whatever, and you see two phenomenal athletes like freaking Misha Tate and Marion go out there, and then you have that one person like, oh, girls do this, chicks fight, that's so weird. Or they're just talking about their outfits or their hairstyle. And I've had that before. I've had commentators like talking about my outfit during the fight, and it's just definitely I've met a lot of people, and 247's been really kind towards, they no type of stereotypes or different type of treatment from anyone there ever, but it does exist still. And I think it is important to try to, the only way to do it is to prove them wrong. Honestly, at this point, is just the girls need to keep working hard and stay up in their place.
Absolutely. That's a shout out to all the female fighters, whether they be at the UFC level or also the amateur level. What do you think you would want to see change the most in people's perceptions of women fighters?
Uh, I think a lot of people, I think the biggest thing I hear is that they're boring, that the fights are boring. And I honestly, I mean, if that's how they feel, then the women, the sport's still growing. You've seen a big jump just in the last 5 years in the level of the girls. Some of the ones that they're still in there have gotten, like Rose Namajunas is a great example. She's been getting worlds better. Just as it's becoming more of a norm, more common, I feel like more girls are going to be getting into the gyms, and they're learning the same movements, they're learning the same styles as everyone. It's going to be the same type of fight, because it's really sad that people feel that way whenever I see super exciting fights where there's people getting, like, you want to watch Joanna Jędrzejczyk versus Zhang Weili. That's
Yeah,
a super exciting fight. Nobody can say that that was a boring fight. So I feel bad for people to feel that way, but hopefully as the level of competition rises, their opinions change and we see more fights like that, and people realize, hey, it's a legit sport. It's not just towards one way.
absolutely. And as an encouragement to you, I personally have heard fans say the exact opposite when they're getting ready to watch a UFC fight, at least, where they say, oh,
Okay.
if there's, you mentioned some of the fighters, Amanda Nunes, obviously at one point Ronda Rousey, but there's so many good female fighters and female
Exactly.
fights that I have heard people actually say, oh, I'm glad that there's a woman matchup on the card because they always are more exciting. So I do hope, like what you said, I hope that the viewpoint changes. I think some people, I would like to say it this way, people within MMA, I think actually look forward to watching women fight. And I've told people this because to be a woman in fighting, you're a smaller percentage, meaning you there's a lot of people that just get distracted and go do other things other than fighting, right? And you really have to push through a lot to want to be a fighter. And I think only the truly motivated women stay in fighting. Whereas every once in a while, you still get some guys that just aren't as motivated. They kind of go along with the flow and then get to a point where they stop. Whereas every woman I've ever interviewed is just a lot more dedicated because they kind of have to be, And I think
Right.
in a way, just like 25 years ago, when people, mainly guys, start out in MMA, they had to be pretty dedicated because it wasn't a big deal yet. So I think in a way it's an advantage that you and others are having to really push to change people's view because then, like you said, you raise up your level of competition. And speaking of that, um, I'll rewatch your liver kick TKO over your opponent in November anytime because that is exciting. You fight in a very exciting style, male or female, doesn't matter. Your style of mixing up all of your skills is very exciting. How many times have you watched that finish from November?
I reviewed the film a lot, actually, mostly just to, see what needs worked on and everything. It's not really an ego thing that I'm like, yeah, I feel bad about myself. Let me go watch this video. But
Just watch the
I
kid land,
watched it a few
watch the kid
times.
land, watch the kid
Yeah.
land. Yeah. Well, when you talk about things to work on, what is it like to watch a fight in which you obviously ended very dominantly? It was a lovely fight. I'm glad she got better and recovered. I mean, we always want that when somebody loses. But what's it like watching a dominant fight, still finding things for you to improve?
I think it's good to congratulate yourself and give yourself credit where it's due, but it's never okay to be satisfied or content with where you're at. For me to sit here and think I've got it all figured out and that I'm already developed is just as much as the time I've already spent in the sport to say this is just not there yet. It's not. I'm not at my peak, and I'm gonna get the most out of what I can get out of myself because that's just I'm all in. Like I'm gonna give it what I have, the best that I can do to say to myself because that's the type of guilt that gets at you whenever you know you didn't work hard enough, when you know you could have pushed harder. And I just don't want to live with those regrets or wondering what if I did the best I could, regardless of whatever happens. I gave it my honest, within my capabilities, the best I could. And I feel like as people, that's all we have to hang our hats on is the effort and things that we show in our lives.
Absolutely. And that effort goes for people that aren't even fighters. I think you're absolutely right. I think I've mentioned it to you that I'm a professional mental health counselor. And one of the things that comes up so often is exactly what you said. People regret what they didn't do their best in. I don't get people regretting what they did their best in. Sometimes, the best effort doesn't lead to the result, but you can at least be happy with the effort and then
Exactly.
accept the result. And I love the fact, I mean, you're young still. I'm only saying that because you've had quite a few fights for somebody that's still a young fighter. And I think that's an advantage to you. And obviously, your dad and your coaches and Gorilla House, the fact that they've been training you and you have the right mindset from the beginning, that you're in it for the long haul. You will have a long, productive, good pro career, and you're making the best of your amateur career now to really tune up who you are as a fighter, which I think is great. On that note, what are your thoughts on Gabriela Valdez, who's your current opponent for the vacant belt that you guys are fighting for, up for grabs August 7th?
Much respect to Gabby. Watched a little bit of film. She looks tough. We're gonna go in there. We're gonna put a good fight on. At the end of the day, I'm gonna be the one that wants to lead with the belt. Obviously, be the champ. She's on the other side. She wants to best for herself. She wants to win. Honestly, in all fairness, for the sport and just for ourselves, may the best woman win. You know, we're gonna go on there, put our skills. I feel really, really mentally sharp, physically sharp. Um, right as of right now, I feel the best that I ever have. Um, this was the best training camp. I don't have much, if any, of a weight cut to really worry about. My main mind's goal is just to eat to perform and give it 100% every workout. That's pretty much my motto for this camp has been like, can you look at yourself in the mirror after practice and been like, I gave it 100. And every day giving it my best obviously looks different because that's just how humans are built to be, but you can control that effort, and anything else that you can't control, don't worry about it. Don't stress, don't worry about what ifs, you know, don't let the noise um overpower you and let you bring yourself down from the highest that you can possibly perform fight night because of things that you make up in your head. You know what I mean? Let me lose because she's a better striker. Let me lose because I got caught and I even went in there because I didn't give myself and my coaches the respect of preparing the best that I could. And that's something I got to do for every single fight. You can't take off any fight. You can't be like, oh, well, this wasn't the greatest camp. This wasn't the great. You have to be on every single fight because that's how you build and grow. If you show up and you're not with it, then it's like, you know what I mean? You did yourself dirty before anyone else could.
And your mindset is a very healthy, mature fighter mindset. I think as valuable as it is for you to add to your skills, which you clearly are, and these UFC caliber ladies helped, and your gym at Gorilla House help, and your daily grind, in addition to adding to your physical skills, you clearly have added to your mental repertoire of skills, recognizing that in life, not just fighting, in life, if we focus more on what we can't control, we actually won't control what we can control. And that's where that loop of anxiety gets so strong that we give up the control of something we can influence to worry about something we can't influence. And when I was a trainer, so many athletes laid off, took off a little effort in practice saying, well, my opponent could get hurt, or, I don't know what's going to happen. Maybe it'll snow if it's a winter fight, and they were finding ways to take off their effort as opposed to saying, hey, if it snows and gets canceled, you still trained hard for it. Like you've had fights canceled. You can still look back and say it wasn't wasted. All your effort was good because you did what you could control. You can't control COVID or a snowstorm or whatever else, an injury like your last opponent. You couldn't control that. And so I think your mental side is super valuable as a person and also as a fighter. It's so great to hear you having that maturity in your mindset, which is so great. Speaking of mindset, what's your mindset going into this fight?
Pretty much just I had to think to myself, do you want to do this? Is this 100% what you want to do? Don't waste time doing anything in your life that you don't want to be doing because it's just too short and you never know when it's going to get taken from you. So I had to be like, honestly, is this 100% what you want to do? And I was like, I can't go a day without thinking about training. I love it, I've loved it for a very long time. Yes, this is what I want to do. And then it's like, okay, then quitting isn't an option. There's no other options. There's no, you're going to show up fight night, you're going to fight. There's no loophole, wormhole, anything else. That's what you want to do. Don't let anything else get into your head, get in the way. You know what I mean? Just grind and work and go to no fears, anxieties, no, just no BS. Don't let any of it. And I'm just trying to live more actively instead of, you know what I mean, going through the motions of this is what I do. This is where I'm at, because I really have accepted that when I want to do what I want to do, I can really do anything that I wanted to do. And if I wanted to drop everything right now and pick up something else, nobody's opinion is holding me back. There's just no weight on me. I'm doing what I want for me, because that's what people deserve to be able to do. You only get one life, one chance, and to leave and not have to have what ifs is just, I think it's honestly a tragedy. It's a shame.
Well, again, I'm impressed with your maturity and your mindset. Like you said, you know that if you would leave MMA, you would do whatever else you wanted to do. But right now, this is what you want to do, both now and as a career. And I have been just honored to call your fights and to also talk to you outside of you
Thank
fighting. I
you.
can't wait to see you fight for this belt. I think 247 is blessed to have you. 247 Fighting Championships is doing an incredible job putting on high level fights from amateur all the way up to pro. And I think getting the first women's champion for 247 is a big deal, because that amateur female champion could at one day become the pro female champion. You know, they've built careers. You know, Kama Worthy's in the UFC and John Jesus in Bellator. They were both champs at 247. And I think that's what Ryan Middleton, the owner of 247, wants to do. He wants people to look at 247 as producing talent that will then go to one of the more premier organizations. And I can't wait to see that career. Hopefully one day I'll be calling your pro belt fight. That would make me so happy. So what is a fight on the Johnstown card? I believe you're not able to go to the Johnstown card, but what's a fight on the Johnstown hometown card that you're looking forward to at least seeing what the result is for one of the people out of Gorilla House?
Oh man, literally everyone's fighting, and I'm just so excited for everyone, because me and a lot of other people, you know, we've had long layoffs, they've had injuries, opponents getting injuries, you know, just how it is, how it goes. And for everyone to be fighting, like to get a fight in this month, it's just awesome, and it's gonna be really good, I think, for the gym. I'm excited to see Jordan debut. I've been training with him since, you know, I was like a teenager, you know, 15 years old, over at one of the boxing gyms in the area. So I'm excited to watch him finally MMA debut, because I know it's been a goal of his since he was a kid, kind of similar to me. So I
Well,
think that'll be a good one. Just a
that,
new beginning, having a new fighter.
yeah.
This will finally welcome him into the team, getting that. I know he's excited for it.
And there is something special, like you have said, seeing a teammate make their MMA debut, even if they've done other things, boxing, kickboxing, Muay Thai, Jiu-Jitsu, making them make that, watching them or seeing how it goes from the make that debut cage fight is going to be great. And obviously that's what makes you so valuable, that you're not only putting effort into your own career, you also want to see the career of others increase. I can't wait to see you in action. For everybody that doesn't know, the Blonde Demon is an incredible, exciting fighter to watch. And obviously I want everybody to buy tickets from you and pack the Monroeville Convention Center August 7th. And then in Johnstown, August 21st, pack the Cambria War Memorial Stadium, because both cards are going to be incredible, amateur all the way up to pro. Hats off to you, and thank you for taking time out of your busy schedule to come on the show. Can't wait to call your fight August 7th as you battle Gabriel Valdez for the first ever inaugural bantamweight amateur belt.
Thank you so much. I'll see you fight day.
See you fight day. Have a good one.
Thanks, you too.
All right.